I was scrolling on Instagram one day when I saw a video of a young man who went to preach the gospel somewhere, and then he met a woman and he preached to her the gospel of Jesus Christ. And this woman said in her own words that she will never have anything to do with God. And then when the man asked her why, she went further to say, where was God where so and so happened to me? And then she went ahead to talk about a gory experience she had when she was a child. So imagine the pain that this woman is going through at adulthood. That woman could be like around 60 years old or so. I'm just guessing her age. She attributed what has happened to her in the total absence of God. So where was God when this happened to me? Where was God when that happened to me? So that leads us to the topic of the conversation we are going to have today. Why do bad things happen to good people? First of all, we're going to go back to scripture. The number one reason why bad things happen to good people is because we live in a broken world. We live in a world full of sin. We live in a world full of atrocities. We live in a world full of wickedness. The Bible made us understand from the book of Genesis chapter 1 to chapter 3 that God is a kind and benevolent God who made us in his own image and likeness. But somewhere in chapter 3, Adam, who was the first man to be created, allowed sin to creep into the world. And so from that moment, there was brokenness in this world. There was wickedness and there was atrocity introduced into the human race. And so because of that, bad things will keep on happening. But here is good news. Christ came to the world to redeem mankind from that brokenness. But until every single person accepts this redemption, bad things will keep happening. Another thing we should remember when we ask why do bad things happen to good people is because although bad things happen, this world is not the end. The world is full of wickedness and atrocities, but we should also remember that this world is not the end. There is somewhere called eternity with Christ. There's somewhere called eternity with God. If you have passed through any form of pain or any form of trauma, I want you to understand that if you have accepted Christ in your life, that this world is not the end. So if you're listening to the news and you're hearing wars and rumors of wars everywhere, and you're hearing of people committing atrocities, this world is not the end, because we are going to definitely be in a glorious place, in a wonderful place where there will be peace, where there will be kindness, where there will be love, and where there will be everything pure. So I hope you are getting ready, or that you are always ready. Go to this place where everything pure will only exist. Another thing you should remember about bad things happening is that bad things can unremarkably be an unexpected catalyst for communication with Christ. Yes. A lot of people has come to God because of the pain that they are passing through, because sometimes God might allow pain, God might allow a certain kind of suffering in order to draw us to himself. And also God might allow some certain kind of things to happen to us so that we'll be able to reach out to another person that is passing through the same thing. In the words of Apostle Paul, he said something, and he said that we might be able to comfort you with the same comfort that God has given to us. So imagine you trying to tell a woman that is passing through childlessness that you are going to conceive, and you have never known what it meant to be childless, or you are telling someone that is passing through any form of rejection that they will be fine, or depression that they will be fine, and you have never been in their shoes. It will be much easier if you have had that form of pain before, or you have a testimony of that form of pain before, in order to be able to minister that comfort to that other person. So God sometimes allows some certain kind of things for us to pass through some certain kind of things, because all things work out for our good. Because when he repurposes that pain, where he repurposes that suffering, it will definitely work out for our good. At the point of editing this video, I realized that it was not really complete to say that you cannot administer healing or comfort to someone except you have passed through their pain or the kind of suffering that they have passed through. I believe that when the Bible says that Jesus was moved with compassion each time that he meets someone in need, I believe that for us to be able to build that kind of compassion that Jesus had felt, it is either God has given you that kind of compassion, or you are able, or you have felt that kind of pain before. It still doesn't mean that you cannot administer or you cannot minister to someone except you have felt their pain or anything like that. But in the words of Pete Greig, he said, "The Christian witness and our ultimate hope is not merely a miraculous succession of miraculous escapes from all human afflictions. Rather, it is the joy of a deepening relationship with a man of sorrows and familiar with suffering who loved us." This revelation is worth our attention, guys. It is really worth our attention. Bad things happen to all of us, even to the best of us. But with God, there's purpose amidst the pain. He is redeeming the world. He has redeemed the world, yeah? And he is restoring our brokenness.
Our suffering can sometimes be so intense that we become our own false teachers. We begin to say things about God that the apostles would not affirm. We begin to say things like, he's not good. He doesn't love me. He doesn't see me. We begin to talk about God like he is something other than holy. But as Christians, I get the tension of having to deal with the sovereignty, the fact that God has control over everything, like the sovereignty of God and suffering. That's a tension that we have to reckon with. I've had to deal with it myself. Like when I think about how my mother, she would often drop me off at a family friend's house, and she was dropping me off because she had to go to work. And I was 5. She didn't know what was on the other side of the door, but God did.
Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. God bless you.